Dionysus, in Greco-Roman religion, a nature god of fruitfulness and vegetation, especially known as the god of wine and ecstasy. The occurrence of his name on a Linear B tablet shows that he was already worshipped in the Mycenaean period, although it is not known where his cult originated. In all the legends of his cult, he is depicted as having foreign origins. Out of jealousy, Hera, the wife of Zeus, persuaded the pregnant Semele to prove her lover as divinity by requesting that he appear in his real person. Zeus complied, but his power was too great for the mortal Semele, who was blasted with thunderbolts. However, Zeus saved his son by sewing him up in his thigh and keeping him there until he reached maturity, so that he was twice born. Dionysus was then conveyed by the god Hermes to be brought up by the Bacchantes of Nysa, a purely imaginary spot. Praxiteles, Hermes carrying the infant Dionysus, marble statue by Praxite. At the direction of Hera, the infant Zagreused Dionysus was torn to pieces, cooked, and eaten by the evil tides, but his heart was saved by Athena, and he was resurrected by Zeus through Zeus struck the Titans with lightning, and they were consumed by fire. Dionysus often took on a bestial shape and was associated with various animals. His personal attributes were an ivy wreath, the thyrsus, and the cantharos, a large two-handled goblet. In early Greek art he was represented as a bearded man, but later he was portrayed as youthful and effeminate. Bacchic revels were a favorite subject of Vospatus. From their ashes came the first humans, who thus possessed both the evil nature of the Titans and the divine nature of the gods. Height 2.15 meters. Dionysus was the son of Zeus and Semele, a daughter of Cadmus. Performances of tragedy and comedy in Athens were part of 2 festivals of Dionysus. Dionysus was also honored in lyric poems called Dith. In Roman literature, his nature is often misunderstood, and he is simplistically portrayed as the jolly Bacchus, who is invoked at drinking parties. In 186 BCE, the celebration of Bacchanalia was prohibited in Italy. Roman sarcophagus depicting the triumph of Dionysus, and the Seasons marble sarcophagus depicting the triumph of Dionysus, and the Seasons Phrygian marble, Roman c. 260 to 270 C. in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York City. These Dionysia quickly won converts among women. Men, however, met them with hostility. In Thrace, Dionysus was opposed by Lycurgus, who ended up blind and mad. The central figure is Dionysus, seated on the back of a panther. In the left foreground are the male figures representing winter and spring, and to the right of Dionysus are the male figures representing summer and fall. The remaining figures shown are other objects and personages associated with the Bacchic cult, as Dionysus apparently represented the sap, juice, or lifeblood element in nature. Lavish festal orgia in his honor were widely instituted. In Thebes, Dionysus was opposed by Pentheus, his cousin, who was torn to pieces by the Bacchantes when he attempted to spy on their activities. Athenians were punished with impotence for dishonoring the gods' cult. Their husbands' resistance notwithstanding, women took to the hills, wearing fawn skins and crowns of ivy and shouting the ritual cry, "You," forming thea and waving theaso. They danced by torchlight to the rhythm of the aulos and the tim. While they were under the gods' inspiration, the Bacchantes were believed to possess occult powers and the ability to charm snakes and suckle animals, as well as preternatural strength that enabled them to tear living victims to pieces. Before indulging in a ritual feast, the Bacchantes hailed the god by his titles of Bromios or Tauroprosopos, in the belief that he incarnated the sacrificial beast. Greek kylix depicting Dionysus in a sailboat. Surrounded by dolphins. 530 B. In Orphic legend, Dionysus under the name Zagreus, the son of Zeus, by his daughter Syrophoere. Triumph of Bacchus. Triumph of Bacchus oil on canvas by Syrophoere, 17th century. 141 times 205.7 centimeters. Dionysus had the power to inspire and to create ecstasy, and his cult had special importance for art and literature. The followers of Dionysus included spirits of fertility, such as the Satyrs and Selene, and in his rituals, the phallus was prominent. Thanks for watching. Follow for more.